In a small city bustling with noise, deadlines, and endless obligations, there lived a woman who, like many of us, felt overwhelmed by the constant demands of modern life. Every day seemed to blur into the next, leaving her stressed, anxious, and exhausted. She struggled to find focus, to feel present, and to experience genuine joy. Her life, though outwardly successful, lacked a sense of inner calm. And yet, it was precisely in the midst of this chaos that she would discover a simple practice that would change everything, a practice that required only 10 minutes a day. The transformation began quietly, almost imperceptibly. One morning, after reading about meditation, she decided to set aside 10 minutes of her day for silence. At first, it seemed impossible. Her mind raced with thoughts of work, family, responsibilities, and worries about the future. Sitting still felt unnatural, but she persisted, 10 minutes at a time, focusing on her breath, observing her thoughts without judgment, and simply allowing herself to exist in the present moment. Within days, she noticed subtle changes. The tension in her shoulders began to ease. Her mind, once cluttered and frantic, started to feel more spacious. She became aware of small moments of beauty around her, a bird singing outside the window, the warmth of sunlight on her skin, the quiet rhythm of her own heartbeat. These were simple things, yet they had been invisible to her in the past. Meditation began to open her eyes to the richness of everyday life. Over weeks, the effects deepened. She started to feel a sense of clarity and calm that she had never known before. Decisions that had once felt overwhelming became easier to make. She noticed patterns in her thoughts and emotions that had previously gone unnoticed, allowing her to respond to challenges with patience rather than reactivity. This daily practice, just 10 minutes long, became the anchor in her life, the moment she returned to herself. No matter how chaotic the world around her became, the remarkable thing about her experience is that she did not need long hours of meditation, retreats, or complicated rituals. What mattered was consistency, intention, and a willingness to explore the mind with curiosity and compassion. Just 10 minutes a day, a fraction of her life, was enough to catalyze profound change. And as the days turned into weeks and weeks into months, the transformation became undeniable. Her energy improved, her relationships deepened, and she developed a resilience to stress that once would have seemed impossible. Friends and colleagues began to notice a shift in her presence. She was calmer, more grounded, and more attentive. She realized that this simple practice had given her something far more valuable than temporary relief. It had given her control over her inner world. It is fascinating to consider that modern neuroscience supports her experience. Studies show that even brief daily meditation can rewire the brain, reducing stress, improving attention, and enhancing emotional regulation. The practice strengthens areas of the brain associated with compassion, focus, and resilience, while calming regions linked to anxiety and reactivity. What once seemed like a small, almost insignificant habit is now understood to be a powerful tool for transforming both mind and body. And yet, the story of her transformation is not just about science. It's about the courage to pause, the discipline to return to oneself daily, and the willingness to observe one's thoughts without judgment. It is about discovering that the mind, when given just a few moments of attention, can become a source of profound clarity, creativity, and peace. Before we continue, if you're finding this story inspiring, I invite you to subscribe to the channel, click the like button, and share this video with friends who may need this message. Just as she discovered, a small daily commitment can ripple outward, transforming not only your life, but the lives of those around you. As she continued, she explored deeper dimensions of meditation. She experimented with focusing on her breath, with body scanning, with visualizations, and with simple affirmations. Each variation opened a new door in her mind, revealing insights, creativity, and emotional resilience that she had never experienced before. What started as a simple experiment became a lifelong journey, a journey of self-discovery, healing and empowerment, even when life threw challenges at her, stressful deadlines, conflicts, personal setbacks. Her 10-minute practice became a refuge. She learned that the true power of meditation is not in escaping reality, but in equipping the mind to meet reality with clarity, compassion, and presence. In a world that constantly pulls our attention outward, her daily practice allowed her to reconnect inward, creating a foundation of strength that could not be shaken by external circumstances. As the weeks turned into months, the woman began to notice changes in the subtler layers of her mind. Thoughts that once dominated her day, fueling anxiety and self-doubt, no longer held the same power. She discovered that meditation created a space between stimulus and response, a pause that allowed her to choose how she would react instead of being swept away by habitual patterns. This shift, though gradual, transformed the way she interacted with the world. Her relationships began to improve almost effortlessly. By cultivating presence and awareness within herself, she found that she could listen more deeply, empathize more sincerely, and respond more thoughtfully. Conflicts that once escalated quickly now became opportunities for understanding. She realized that by calming her inner world, she had the ability to influence the outer world in a positive, meaningful way. In addition to emotional benefits, her physical health began to improve. Sleep became deeper, digestion more regular, and chronic tension in her shoulders and back eased significantly. Even her energy levels increased, not because she forced herself to push harder, but because meditation restored a natural equilibrium in her nervous system. This balance allowed her to navigate the pressures of daily life with more grace, resilience, and focus. What makes this story particularly compelling is the simplicity of the practice. She did not need expensive courses, lengthy retreats, or complicated techniques. 10 minutes a day, consistently applied, produced results that often surprise even those with years of meditation experience. The key was persistence, patience, and an open mind. The practice became a daily ritual, a sacred 10 minutes that grounded her, realigned her priorities, and reminded her of what truly mattered. She also discovered the power of visualization within meditation. By imagining herself facing challenges calmly and successfully, she trained her mind to act differently in real situations. She began to see patterns in her behavior and thinking that had previously gone unnoticed, allowing her to make conscious choices rather than reacting out of habit. In essence, she learned that meditation was not just about calming the mind, but about retraining it for a more conscious, empowered life. As her inner world transformed, her creativity blossomed. Problems at work or in personal projects no longer seemed insurmountable. Ideas flowed more freely, and solutions appeared with clarity. She realized that meditation had opened a channel within her mind that allowed inspiration to surface effortlessly. The very act of pausing, observing, and breathing had created fertile ground for innovation and insight. Interestingly, science confirms these experiences. Research shows that even brief daily meditation sessions enhance neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to form new connections, and improve emotional regulation. By engaging in mindful focus for just 10 minutes, the woman was effectively rewiring her brain to respond to stress with calm, clarity, and resilience. In other words, her simple daily practice was creating lasting changes in her mind, body, and life. Yet what makes her journey truly remarkable is not only the measurable benefits, but also the subtle, almost imperceptible shifts in perception. She noticed a deeper appreciation for the present moment, a sense of gratitude that arose naturally, and a profound connection to life itself. The small, consistent practice of meditation had unlocked dimensions of awareness and understanding that she had previously thought were beyond her reach. Even on the busiest days, she maintained her 10-minute ritual, It became a non-negotiable anchor, a sacred commitment to herself. Over time, she realized that the cumulative effect of these short daily sessions was more powerful than any single hour-long retreat or intense effort. Consistency, rather than intensity, was the key. And perhaps the most inspiring aspect of her story is that it is entirely replicable. Anyone, regardless of age, background, or circumstance, can begin with just 10 minutes a day. The practice does not require special equipment, expensive programs, or extraordinary talent. Only a willingness to show up for oneself and a commitment to explore the mind with curiosity, patience, and compassion. Before we continue to the final part of her story, if you are enjoying this journey, I invite you once again to subscribe to the channel, click the like button, and share this video with someone who could benefit from this transformative practice. By spreading this message, you can help others discover that true change does not require grand gestures, only small, consistent steps. In her daily practice, the woman also began to integrate mindful awareness into every part of her life. Eating, walking, working, and even interacting with others became opportunities to practice presence. Each small moment of mindfulness reinforced the benefits of her meditation, creating a ripple effect that transformed the ordinary into something extraordinary. She began to notice how rarely people truly pay attention to their own minds. Most of us operate on autopilot, reacting to stimuli without awareness or reflection. Her 10-minute meditation became a way to break this cycle, to pause, and to reconnect with the self in a deep, meaningful way. This pause, though brief, became the foundation for a life of clarity, intention, and joy. As time went on, the woman realized that meditation was no longer just a 10-minute exercise. It had become a lens through which she experienced life. She began to notice the subtle patterns of thought that had once dominated her mind, and she learned to observe them without judgment. Fear, self-doubt, and anxiety were no longer commanding her attention. Instead, she met them with curiosity, compassion, and understanding. In this way, her mind became a garden where awareness and calm could flourish. She also discovered that meditation empowered her decision-making. By cultivating clarity and presence, she could approach challenges with focus and insight. Decisions that had once felt overwhelming became easier, not because the problems had changed, but because her mind had transformed. She responded to life with wisdom and balance, rather than reacting impulsively or being swayed by stress. This shift not only improved her personal and professional life, but it also gave her a sense of agency she had never experienced before. The ripple effect extended further. Friends and family began to notice a transformation in her presence. She listened more deeply, spoke with intention, and radiated a calm confidence that was contagious. By prioritizing her own mental well-being, she indirectly influenced the lives of those around her, creating a more harmonious and supportive environment. Her 10-minute meditation had grown into a catalyst for positive change in her entire community. An interesting aspect of her journey was how she integrated mindfulness into daily routines. Brushing her teeth, washing dishes, walking to work. Each mundane task became an opportunity to practice awareness. She discovered that meditation was not limited to a cushion or a quiet room. It could be woven seamlessly into the fabric of everyday life. In this way, the benefits multiplied because she was no longer switching off from life, but fully engaging with it in each moment. She also explored the deeper emotional benefits. Over time, meditation allowed her to process past traumas, release long-held resentment, and cultivate self-compassion. The simple practice of observing her thoughts and emotions daily created a profound healing effect. She became more patient, forgiving, and empathetic, not only toward others but toward herself. This inner work, though subtle, reshaped the way she approached life entirely. Science now supports much of what she experienced. Neuroscientists have found that daily meditation increases gray matter in areas of the brain responsible for learning, memory, and emotional regulation. It decreases activity in the amygdala, the part of the brain associated with stress and fear, while enhancing connectivity between regions responsible for attention, compassion, and self-awareness. Even a brief daily practice like hers can produce measurable, lasting changes. Yet the most remarkable aspect of her story is the accessibility of this transformation. She did not attend expensive retreats, travel to remote monasteries, or invest in complicated programs. 10 minutes a day, just 10 minutes, was enough to transform her mind, her body, and her life. The simplicity of the practice underscores a powerful truth. Profound change does not require grand gestures. It begins with small, consistent actions. By the end of her first year of consistent practice, she noticed a complete shift in her perspective. Challenges became opportunities, stress became manageable, and life felt richer, more vivid, and more meaningful. She had unlocked a power that had always existed within her, the power to shape her mind, emotions, and experiences through simple daily dedication. If you've followed her journey this far, I encourage you once again to subscribe to the channel, like this video, and share it with friends. By sharing this story, you help spread the message that small, consistent habits, like 10 minutes of meditation each day, can lead to life-changing results. Everyone has this capacity. It only requires commitment, curiosity, and patience. Ultimately, her story teaches us that transformation is always within reach. It is not found in external circumstances, material possessions, or fleeting achievements. It is found in the quiet moments, in the space between thoughts, and in the intentional act of connecting with oneself. 10 minutes a day became a doorway to clarity, joy, and resilience, a practice that can be replicated by anyone, anywhere. Her journey continues to inspire countless others, showing that even amidst the busiest schedules, the most overwhelming challenges, and the noise of modern life, a brief daily pause for meditation can open the door to profound peace, healing, and self-mastery. And this is the greatest lesson of all. The path to transformation is simple, accessible, and waiting for anyone willing to take those 10 minutes for themselves each day.